Welcome back, it's Jason Walter here. I want to provide an update regarding what's happening right now in California. The California Association of Realtors just announced their latest housing market update about a week ago. And this is my second video I'm making about the California housing market this month. I tend to make 1 to 3 videos per month regarding what's happening in the California housing market. In today's video, I'm going to touch on what's happening at the county-wide level. So I'm going to give you guys an update regarding home sales, home prices, housing inventory, and much more for each of the counties here in California that the California Association of Realtors tracks. So I have a lot to share in today's video. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And by the way, I'm going to touch very lightly regarding what's happening right now at the statewide level. If you missed my detailed video I made regarding that, I'll leave a link below, which was just posted about a few days ago. So here is a slideshow from the California Association of Realtors. And here's what's happening right now at the statewide level. So for existing home sales, which by the way, today's video is only detached, single family, existing houses. So this excludes brand new home construction, it excludes condos, and of course it excludes multifamily. Only looking at single family existing houses. So when looking at that, the number of home sales on a seasonally adjusted annualized basis was just under 290,000. That's a decrease of nearly 24% year over year. And also home prices have been increasing even though they're down compared to 1 year ago, down by 6.4% from May 2022 through May 2023. And by the way, I'll post an update regarding what's happening in June once the Realtors Association announces that at the end of July. There tends to be around a 3-week lag in reporting on stats here. So in any case, the median sold price statewide was $836,000. The unsold inventory index, or the month supply, was at 2.1 months, and days on the market was 17 days. That's a 54.5% increase compared to 12 months ago. So here's what's happening in each of the major regions that they track. In Southern California, existing home sales decreased by 22.3%. And also home prices fell by 5.3% on a year-over-year basis. The month supply days on the market is on par with the statewide averages here. And the average sale price to final list price ratio was 100%, meaning for May, for the house that sold in May, home sellers got their asking price on average. That's what that ratio means. So let's have a look at the Central Coast. This is one of the regions where home prices are actually up compared to May of 2022, a small increase of 0.5%, whereas in Southern California, it decreased by 5.3%. And again, statewide down 6.4%. So every real estate market is different, right? Central Coast though, home sales down by 17%. And these ratios, these numbers right here, also roughly on par with the statewide averages here. So in the Central Valley, where I work and live as a real estate agent here in Sacramento, home sales down by 20%, and we're still down by about 5% in home prices compared to May of 2022. And each of these metrics here below here is on par with this state as well. In the Bay Area, very big changes, because when looking at year-over-year changes, it appears the Bay Area is crashing, but when looking at month-over-month changes, we're seeing a different story here. And I'll share some stats with you guys regarding each of these metros on a monthly basis here in a little bit here. So the Bay Area, home sales down by nearly 24%. And home prices, whenever I talk about home prices in today's video, I'm talking about the median sold price, not home values. So the median sold price this May was $1.3 million for the entire region. That's down by 11.3% year over year. Unsold inventory index is very low at 1.5 months. Days in the market at 13 days. And also look at this, the sale price to final list price ratio, 102.6%, meaning on average this May, houses sold for 2.6% over the seller's final list price. Also in the far north, home sales decreased by 22%, prices down by about 11%. And also these metrics right here tend to be a little bit slower compared to other regions here. because the unsold inventory index is much higher compared to the statewide averages. And of course, days in the market tends to be a little bit higher as well. And of course, the sale price to final list price ratio tends to be a little bit lower than other regions. So regarding home sales at the statewide level, again, down by nearly 24% year over year. But look at this, giant increase of 9.8% compared to April this year. So again, when looking at year over year trends, it appears our housing market is crashing in California, but the month-over-month figures tell a different story here. Now, having said that, I would be giving you guys a disservice without mentioning this right here, because at 289,460 closed home sales on an annualized basis and also seasonally adjusted, let's just call it 290,000. This is actually the lowest pre-pandemic levels going back to approximately 2008. Here's an interesting pie chart showing the number of home sales and how that varies by the region. So the far north, only 3% of all closed home sales statewide came from the far north, a very small region regarding the number of houses that closed escrow. Southern California has the biggest slice of the pie here at 44%, meaning in Southern California, of all the closed home sales this May statewide, 44% came from SoCal, 22% came from the Central Valley, and 21% came from the San Francisco Bay Area. Now here's a very interesting chart right here because it really shows how the market, when looking at year-over-year changes, is so much different compared to the changes from the previous month. This is April to May this year. So the year-over-year trends here regarding home sales compared to, of course, May 2022, big decreases, mostly more than 20%. The biggest decrease was actually in the San Francisco Bay Area, down by 23.8% year over year. However, though, when looking at home sales from April to May this year, a giant increase of 30%. Also in the Central Coast, home sales up by 36.6%, even though they're down by 17.3% year over year. Regarding home prices, very quickly, let's talk about at the statewide level again. 836,110 is the median sold price for detached existing single-family houses. But this is actually the biggest number we've seen going back to last August, even though prices are down by 6.4% year over year. So here's where it gets really interesting. I'm going to touch lightly on this because I went into great detail regarding home price trends at the statewide level in my previous video. Again, a link below if you guys haven't taken a look at that yet. But at 6.4%, that's a decrease in home prices compared to 12 months ago. When looking at the average May year-over-year change, this is the average change from May to May each and every year, going back to 2010. Based on my own analysis, this is a gain of 10.6%. So the historical average May to May each year is a gain of 10.6% in home prices, whereas this year, May 2022 to May 2023, a decrease of 6.4%. So historically speaking, this decrease year over year of 6.4% is much worse than historical averages going back to 2010. However, though, this 6.4% decrease, though, is the smallest year-over-year decrease going back to February this year because home prices have been increasing for 3 consecutive months. So big picture here, even though prices are down by about 6% from 12 months ago, prices have been increasing for 3 consecutive months and now have risen to a 9-month high. Now here's an interesting graphic as well regarding the percentage of houses that sold this May that sold above the seller's final list price. Leading the state for each of the 52 counties that the California Association of Realtors tracks, Alameda County led the state because approximately 75% of all closed home sales this May sold above the seller's list price. That was followed by Santa Clara, San Francisco, San Mateo, Contra Costa County, and then Sacramento rounding out the top 6. In contrast, in Napa County, for example, only about 30 to 40% of closed home sales this May sold above the seller's asking price. Same for San Bernardino, Sutter, Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Fresno and Santa Cruz, for example. Santa Cruz, approximately 40% sold above the seller's list price. All right, let's change gears again and talk about housing inventory statewide, because inventory levels decreased by 20.8% from 12 months ago. Vastly different than the huge gains we saw back in 2022 when inventory levels peaked at around 8% gains in late 2022. Now we're down by 21%. So I have a note here to see Altos because here is altosresearch.com regarding inventory levels in California. Very big changes here because for the 7 days ended July 7th, obviously much more updated than this report from the Realtors Association. According to Altos, statewide in California, there's around 30,000 active listings. In other words, approximately 30,000 homes for sale for the 7 days ended July 7th. This is much lower compared to 1 year ago when there was approximately 43,620 houses for sale. But at 30,000 right now, this is higher compared to 2 years ago as well, because back in 2021, there's around 28,000, and back in 2020, around 40,000. But pre-pandemic levels, back in July 2019, there's around 65,000 homes for sale. Now there's only 30,000. This means we have approximately 54% fewer homes for sale in California compared to pre-COVID levels. And this, of course, is one of the main reasons why home prices have been increasing due to historically low inventory levels in California and frankly, nationwide as well. And of course, one of the main reasons why we're seeing historically low inventory levels for existing houses is this right here, a lack of new supply hitting the market or a lack of new listings in California. So for the month of May, there was around 20,000 new listings compared to around 32,000 in 2018 and 2019 this time. This means we're missing approximately 38% new listings compared to pre-COVID levels. What's interesting as well regarding inventory levels or the number of homes for sale is that for each of these regions right here, we're down compared to 12 months ago. So in the Bay Area, 1 year ago in May 2022, there's around 4,928 homes for sale. Now there's around 3,600. In SoCal, 13,534 1 year ago. Now there's only 10,241. As you can see here, each of these regions here have fewer homes for sale compared to just 12 months ago. Here's another way to look at this. So the gray bars right here is active listings year over year. So in the Central Coast, there's approximately 11.9% fewer homes for sale compared to May of 2022. The Central Valley, we're down 21%, SoCal down by 24%, and the San Francisco Bay Area down by nearly 28% year over year. Here's a look at housing supply or housing inventory for each of the counties in California. As you can see, there's actually fewer active listings compared to 1 year ago in more than half of the state. The biggest decrease is actually in Mono County. There's approximately 62% fewer houses for sale right now compared to just 12 months ago. Alameda County and Contra Costa County are not too far off as well, down about 50 to 60% as well. In contrast, there's actually 37.1% more houses for sale right now compared to 12 months ago in Napa. Marin's also not too far off as well. There's approximately 35% more houses for sale right now compared to last year. Regarding the share of listings or houses for sale that have reduced their asking prices, according to the California Association of Realtors for May, for the month average, according to them, the percentage was 28.8%. So this means approximately 3 of every 10 houses for sale by the end of May have reduced their asking prices already. Now this is so much different compared to last year. So here's altosresearch.com regarding the percentage of houses that have reduced their asking prices statewide. So according to them, for the 7-day average as of July 7th, the ratio there was only 26%. Compared to 1 year ago, the ratio was 33%. Now, here's something that I really want you guys to be aware of. Let me just zoom in and just look at, let's see, this January 7th last year through this year. So look at 2022 back in March. The trough regarding the share of price drops was in late February, approximately, when the share was 12%. But by the time we hit this time last year, it rose to 33%. This means the share of price drops nearly tripled from the trough last year to this time last year. But look what happened this year, though. The trough was in, let's call it May, early May this year, when the share was 22%. Now it's only at 26%. Only a small increase compared to the trough this year, which is drastically different compared to what happened last year when the housing market was frozen in the second half of 2022. There's one more thing I do want to add regarding the share of price drops according to Altos, is that at 26.2% right now, even though it's lower than last year, it's still higher than 2021 as well as 2020. However, though, at 26% right now, this is actually lower than pre-pandemic levels back in 2019 when the share was 33%. All right, changing gears slightly here, let's talk about home price changes year over year, as well as month-over-month changes, and also home sales as well. So for each of the 7 major regions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, I just want to verify that. The changes compared to 1 year ago, again, tells an entirely different story when looking at month-over-month changes. So when looking at the median sold price in Los Angeles, down by 5% year over year. However, though, up by 3.4% compared to April. Also, the only regions that are actually up compared to 1 year ago regarding prices is in the Central Coast, up by 0.5%. Actually, that's the only region in which prices are up compared to 1 year ago. However, prices fell by 2% month over month. But look at this. The far north down by 10.6%. Also, the San Francisco Bay Area down by 11.3% compared to May of 2022. However, though, month over month up by 4%. Same goes for Southern California. Even though it's down by 5.3% year over year, it still increased by 1.9% month over month. I will say that historically speaking, we do tend to see an increase in prices from April to May each and every year. This is our seasonality of our U.S. housing market, or even U.S. and also in California, of course, as well. But it's entirely normal to see home price gains from April and May each and every year. But I just want to point this out because a lot of people think that home prices are absolutely crashing. But when looking at month-over-month changes, that really tells us a different story here. Same goes for home sales. As you can see here, for each of these 7 major regions, home sales fell by more than 17% year over year. However, though, giant increases compared to 1 month ago. So for example, what's the biggest one here? Far North increased by nearly 45%, even though down by about 22% year over year. The San Francisco Bay Area down by 24% from 12 months ago, but a giant increase of 30% month over month. And of course, home sales increased by double digits on a month over month basis, even though they're down compared to 12 months ago. So here are the counties in the San Francisco Bay Area here. Again, very big changes when looking at year-over-year stats here. Alameda County is one of the biggest decreases, down by 16.7%. Napa is down by 15.2%. And San Francisco is down by nearly 18% from 12 months ago, even though they saw an increase of 4.2% last month. Napa also saw a gain of 9% as well on a month-over-month basis. Regarding closed home sales, San Mateo County saw the biggest increase. Look at that, a gain of 49.2% compared to April, whereas San Francisco only increased by 8.1%. But giant gains in home sales versus these giant decreases on a year-over-year basis. It really just tells me that even though home sales are down a big time compared to 1 year ago, they still have been increasing from 1 month ago. So what this is really telling me is that we are seeing a seasonal uptick regarding home sales and also home buying activity here, but not nearly as great as we saw 1 year ago when the housing market was in full swing back in the spring months of 2022. So regarding Southern California, Los Angeles, prices are down by 6.8%, a small gain of 0.8% month over month. Also saw big decreases in Orange County, or not big decreases, but decreases in Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego. Whereas Ventura, prices are actually up compared to 12 months ago. And again, just like the Bay Area, huge decreases in home sales year over year by more than 20%, but up greatly by double digits on a month over month basis. The Central Coast, Monterey, prices are up compared to 12 months ago and down by 5.3% on a month over month basis. Santa Barbara, these are one of these regions here, or counties here, which home prices and home sales tend to fluctuate greatly on a month over month basis here. So I don't really put a whole lot of weight regarding prices increasing by 42% in 1 month. There must have been a big sale that occurred this May that really is causing this to increase so much. Santa Cruz is up by 3% from 12 months ago. And also in the Central Valley, let's see what Sacramento is. Sacramento, the median sold price at $535,000. 1 year ago, it was $575,000. That's a decrease of 7%, but an increase of nearly 4% from April when the median sold price was $515,000. Big increase in home sales, up by 26%, but still down by 20% on a year-over-year basis. Also in Placer County, home prices are up by 5% month over month, but still down by 7% from 12 months ago. So besides Sacramento and Placer County, Calaveras County, home prices up by 4.8%. El Dorado is down by 9.6% year over year. Mendocino is down by 10.5%. And by the way, a lot of these counties at the end of this chart right here tend to have a much fewer amount of home sales compared to these other regions here. That's why these metrics here can fluctuate greatly, because we're not seeing a giant increase of 27.6% in home prices in 1 month in Lake County, for example. We also have Yolo County, which is just north of Sacramento. That's down by 1.3% year over year. Yuba County is more or less flat compared to 12 months ago, and giant increases in home sales in Yolo and Yuba compared to April this year. But what's your biggest takeaways from today's video? I appreciate you guys watching today's video, and of course for supporting my YouTube channel as well. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and look forward to seeing you on the next video.